What's up, everybody? This is Brandon from AFWE Animation, and just a few minutes ago, I got a request on our Instagram page, legacy_figs, about how we made our ring, how I made this ring for my son, and a request, I guess, to do a video about it. So that's what I'm going to do real quick. I did make this for my son for Christmas. I believe it was two years ago. I guess is when it was, and it really wasn't too difficult. Obviously, it did take some time. The hardest part was keeping it hidden from him, obviously, because it is the same size as the scale size rings that you buy, from Mattel or whatnot. But all we did was, and I try to angle this camera here on this tripod so you can see it pretty well. I'm gonna lift the ring skirt up here real quick and see if I can get it to stay up a little bit, if it stay a little bit. I just went to Home Depot or Lowe's, I can't remember which one, and I got some of this board. It's not plywood. I don't honestly, maybe it's like press board or something. I don't exactly remember what kind of board it was, but it was fairly cheap, and I just bought one piece of it, and then basically I had them cut it in half, and that was the size of what the scale size ring it would be. I think mine actually may be a slight bit bigger, maybe. I think the scale size rings are like 20 inches by 20 inches. Mine may be like 21 by 21, something like that. I'm not really sure. But anyway, so we got the board. I cut it in half, and then I got me a 2x4. Okay, so I cut the 2x4 into 4 pieces. Probably could have made it a little bit shorter. It may be a little too tall. But it works for what we're doing it for. So, but I put the 2x4 down here. I think you can kind of see it in the corner, and I used some Gorilla Glue, which you can kind of see a little bit of the residue maybe from that leftover. But glued the pieces together to make the ring there, and then of course with the ring post, there was all kind of options I could have gone with. There was you get the round like dowels or whatever else. I chose to use these square ones, and the only reason I did that, and see if I can move this around here real quick. Sorry if it gets a little shaky. These underneath the turnbuckle is just the little eye hooks that you can buy from Walmart on the hardware aisle or whatever. But basically, all I did was screw the eye hook into the ring post here. I just made it easier to screw in there. And then my wife actually helped me. We got some material, which the material for the turnbuckle is actually the same material as I used down here on the ring skirt. Let me back up here for a second. It's just kind of like I guess a pleather. It's like a fake leather that we got from Walmart that seemed pretty durable, so we got that. But my wife actually stuffed each of these turnbuckles with some sort of felt, but I guess you could use like cotton or any other kind of stuffing to put in there to give it just a little bit of size. And I guess I should put these things back on the turnbuckle. Right, wasn't even paying attention to the camera there, but yeah, she just stuffed them in there, and then we hot glued it down, to keep everything in there pretty good. And I don't know if you can see it. I'll try to zoom in here real quick. So this top one here actually needs to be re-glued. It's coming apart, but we use this corner obviously more than other corners. But so I put those eye hooks in each of the turnbuckles, and then I just got the bungee cord material from Walmart. It's a little bit thicker than the stuff that you would buy from Mattel, and it actually, for the past couple, like I said, I've had this for 2 years, so it's held up pretty well. I think if I kind of lift this up, you can see the ropes on the other side sagging a little bit. It probably won't be too long until I have to change out the ropes in the corner there. But I just basically I glued the dowels on here, or the square dowels on here in the corners. I glued it onto the edge of the 2x4, but I also screwed it in. That way, give it a little bit. I'm pushing on it pretty decent, and it's not moving. But with all of the stress of pulling on the ropes and things like that, I didn't want it snapping off or anything like that. So that's that. And then for the actual mat itself, again, we just got a different color ring mat. You know, I guess this is kind of like a bluish color or whatever. But we just found that there, and then let me lift this back up. Sorry. And then my wife actually helped me again, and she hot glued it all down. We pulled it real tight and hot glued it down, and then we took the ring skirt and actually hot glued it along the top edge. You know, basically the lip of what the top of the mat would be there. And then, you know, basically that's it. It wasn't really that difficult. I mean, it did take some time, obviously. And my wife is you know, she was real good with like the materials and stuff as far as the skirt and stuff. Like I said, she helped me with that there. And then of course it gives us the area underneath to store all our ladders, tables, other things underneath there, whatnot. So that's pretty much that. It's like I said, it's not too difficult. When I put the ropes in, that's one thing I forgot to say. When I put the ropes in underneath the turnbuckle is where I had to tie the rope in a knot. Obviously, it didn't come like the Mattel ones come. I think it has that little connector, that little metal thing that kind of sticks it together. So I did have to tie a little bit of like a knot in it, and I took some like electrical tape and wrapped around it real good. But I made sure that the connection is actually stuck underneath the turnbuckle. That way, it does. To me, it just looks silly to have the connection or where it connects out where people can see it. So that's that. Somebody asked me. I know a lot of people use the bear. Some people buy the barricade sets or whatnot. I actually use, and I think I had some somewhere. Yeah, give me a second. Let me grab this over here. I just used the VHS. We had some old VHS tapes or whatever, but I just took some time. Of course, this one's dirty. It's been laying down the carpet, so you can kind of see some of the marks on it. But I just got some black duct tape and covered it up. I figured, instead of having the holes from the videos, you can kind of see if I push on it a little bit, showing. So that's what I used for the barricades for our arena and everything. And then for our entrance tunnel, all it is the leftover material that we had for the ring skirt. I just had a whole bunch of extra stuff, and underneath there is just a cardboard box that we'd found that happened to just fit perfectly between where we have our stands and our had a little space to put this box there. That way it makes it look a little bit more like a tunnel or whatever. And then I had some of this wood left over from some other things, so all I did was make a frame. Of course, we put the little logo that we had printed out. We glued that on there and everything. And then down on the floor of the arena, you can kind of see it's like dirty right there too, but this train table had like a green kind of floor to it, and it was really like beat up and just didn't look very good at all. So what we did was we took this leftover material and covered it up that way, just give it a little bit better appearance, a little bit cleaner appearance or whatever, and kind of liked it better there. And then let me show you one more thing while I'm doing all this, if I can get up here without breaking something. My wife actually had these. I don't even know what they were. They were in the kitchen. Somebody had given them to her, or maybe they were in our pantry or something. And it made kind of little step-up shelves, but it worked out perfect for kind of the crowd look. So if I come over here, and I know if you've seen any of our videos, you've seen the crowd in the back, but it gives a little bit better appearance of the crowd and getting them, kind of raising them up a little bit like actual stands. So we kind of like that look there. And of course the background, I don't have the money for the extreme sets, which are really cool. I wish I did have the money, and hopefully eventually we'll get some. But for the backgrounds, we just, I got the idea from BEW Animation from one of his old arenas. And let me pick this back up and I'll show it to you. But I basically just drew some outlines of people, and then it took me a while, but I colored in between them and just kind of gave people different color shirts and whatnot. And then I used some duct tape to tape it to a big, I guess all this is like a project board, like for like a science fair or something like that I got at Walmart. And then I used some different kind of duct tape. I used the silver looking duct tape, whatever that is there. It looks like metal. Looked kind of like stairs, so I just drew some lines on it, obviously to give it a little bit better appearance, and wrote some things on stuff like that. So anyway, that's what we did. A lot of people do some different things. There's a lot of cool setups that people have, and this just happens to work the best for us. We basically just turned this guest room into our, wrestling room or whatnot. So hopefully that was helpful. If it wasn't, let us know. But hit that like button if you liked it. Leave us a comment down below, and let us know if there's anything else you want to know, or if I missed something, or got any other questions about like that. So until next time, hope you guys do good, and we'll talk to you later on.